And
We're live. We're live. Oh, it's alive.
We're alive. It's
All
alive. It's alive.
Yeah. Just let me share it out a bit. Clickety click click. You two talk amongst yourselves.
okay, yeah, I'm looking for
Hi,
you.
Gordon.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Wonderful.
How about yourself?
I am living the dream, buddy. I am living the dream.
I think he's lying.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
lying.
actually a seething cauldron of rage.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
In all honesty, I got to warn you guys. I'm going to give you a heads up. There may be more than the usual background dog barking. We are watching my mother's Chihuahua in addition to the 2 pit mixes that I have here in the house, and it's been fun. It has been a lot of fun.
You're so full of shit.
You want to see them?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. There she is. Sochi. Hey.
Thanks.
There's Dee Dee, who's with the other barker, and here comes the little Chihuahua.
No. This is cute.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun. Dee Dee hasn't decided whether she wants to eat her yet or just protect her.
Not sure if toy or snack.
Not sure if toy, adopted baby sister, or snack. Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, notices went out. Sharing
Hey.
has happened, and we're live.
Yay.
People will join in. Welcome to another random live stream.
Okay.
Guest
Best
artist
sound.
tonight. Yeah, it's the only kind, really. Guest artist tonight. We got Fife, the disgruntled pinup artist.
I hate everything.
There you go. And Gordon Wills.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
He is the sunshine of all our lives.
There you go.
That's right.
It's like Willy Wonka.
So I actually prepared for today a little bit.
Oh.
My
I've
God.
got a couple of things I want to do. I'm gonna do some sketch cards. And I've already been doing the prelim work for some of them, as you can see here, with the Savage Land Rogue and some Electra.
Oh my! So I'm digging the Savage Land Rogue. A big Rogue fan. That's
Thank
going
you.
to be good. That's going to be nice. Yeah, I was going to do something completely different, but then Dre suggested the White Queen, and how do you argue with Emma Frost?
You don't.
You don't.
Nobody argues with Emma Frost.
Not at all.
She's a telepath. I don't think you can, right?
She can actually manipulate you, can't she?
I think so.
I don't know. She's
But I got the black and white preliminaries done here. We're gonna add color and kind of flesh her out.
yeah. Let's flesh out Emma Frost.
Let's flesh her out.
Do it. Nothing wrong with that.
I'd flesh her out. I'd flesh her out so good. I'd flesh her so hard. I'd flesh her real hard.
Yeah, Gordon, I hope you didn't tell your TikTok army.
The 14-year-olds, no.
Yeah.
I left him in the dark today.
And that, kids, is how you don't behave online.
We did that once. They were having their own conversation in the chat. I have no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah, that's like a weird thing. I've noticed that they do that in my live stream sometimes too. On there, they're just like start talking amongst themselves, and I'm just like, okay,
whatever. You know, I'm just here providing the platform for you guys to figure out what you're doing Friday night.
Yeah, I'm glad you found each other.
What are you doing on Friday? I'm watching these old guys draw.
Well, we were talking about beer, and everyone's in the chat like, I have no idea what they're talking about. Beer's gross. Ew.
Jesus.
And then what did one of them say? One of them tried to like get you with some kind of meme or something. With the
Yeah.
Candace thing.
Yeah, I know. Candace, I don't know who's Candace. I don't know.
I'm going to ask you, when you guys were that age, did you honestly think that we were going to hit a point where we were old and completely just they wouldn't be able to get us? The kids' generations would not be able to get us. We're like, it's impossible. We listen to cool stuff. We do cool stuff.
Yeah. It comes for all of us, though.
Oh, man.
Hang on, we're ignoring the comments. Ken Baxter's in the house says Dre has a low-key gator for a pet. And what's up, Brian Russ? They're not paying attention to us.
Oh, no.
Apologies.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Scarlett. Actually, I really hope Scarlett's not watching this one. Scarlett's Brian's 6-year-old daughter.
Aw.
Might get the age right. She's a sweet little girl.
Oh, that's nice. I'm so glad I'm drawing a woman in lingerie then for her.
Yeah, no, it's fine. She gets it.
She gets it totally.
Holy crap! I don't know if I should be alarmed by that or not.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I haven't really been doing a whole lot on TikTok the last week or so. Kind of been taking a break. I had a quick trip last weekend, and so I kind of just been easing back into it.
Like trip as in a voyage somewhere, or trip as in kind of mushrooms?
No. I for the last weekend I went up to go visit some family, just like
okay.
a quick trip for the weekend, and so I kind of had to. I took a little backseat. I was still drawing and stuff, but I didn't do any videos, didn't do any streaming, and so.
Where was up to go visit people?
For me, almost everywhere is up in the United States. I'm in outside of New Orleans, and I was going to Memphis, Tennessee. So
that is so funny. I am actually working on a piece in addition to this that is going to somebody in New Orleans.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, one of the what do they call them? The crew with a K. The guys that do the floats, I think.
Yeah.
For Mardi Gras. It's really exciting. I'm kind of really jazzed about doing this. It's going to be artwork that's going to end up making into a 3D trophy. And
nice.
Cool.
They're going to do some other stuff with it. They're going to contact my pin company to do a stamped metal pin out of the design. And I wish I could talk more about it, but I have no idea how confidential he wants to keep this. So I am.
It's okay. No one's watching.
Nobody's watching.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nice try.
Hey,
quick! What's the pin on your card, on your debit card?
Scarlet knows. Loose lips.
You're not going to get me. You're not going to get me a second time on that one. All right.
JD says I read something about musketeers and came to provide hygiene tips. All right. Appreciate you.
Do you brush your teeth up or down, or side to side, or circular?
Circular. I don't know. Was this a quiz, or was I just supposed to say?
I don't know. I'm asking. He says he's offering tips. Let's hear it.
Yeah,
I'm not hearing it.
No, he's not.
Oh.
Let's see. He's probably gone by now. Didn't acknowledge his comment fast enough.
They're afraid to give you the wrong answer.
Mm.
And just what would the penalty be for the wrong answer? I mean, really.
Well,
he says he wasn't prepared for this. He was really only here for the snark.
That'll come. That's in the queue. Don't worry. Kind of like how.
What were we talking about before?
I don't know.
Before which part?
Before
New Orleans. New Orleans. You're in New Orleans.
Yes. Yeah.
I have never been there. I hear it's interesting.
I'm I'm a transplant here, so my opinions might be different than other people's.
Well,
I don't have the same affinity as locals, I guess.
now you say you're outside though. You're not.
Like,
in-
well, so I don't know a good way to describe, but so Metairie is right outside of New Orleans. It's just like, right next door to it.
Actually, I've heard of Metairie. I have heard of that place. I have an idea where that is. That's good. Now, do you skedaddle out of there when Mardi Gras is going on, or do you do you partake?
Depends. Some years, yes, we do go out of town. My wife, her family's a big parade family, so gone to a lot of parades over the years. But usually there's parades with like the month leading up to actual Mardi Gras Day, so we'll still go to a handful.
Then when the tourists come to town, you just bounce.
Yeah, you tend to try and stay away from the touristy areas, especially there's family areas versus the more risque areas, I guess, for parades. Like Bourbon Street or something like that. Once it gets dark, you don't.
Is that where you go and earn your beats? Is that Bourbon Street?
Gordon? Have you earned your beads?
I should probably change the names to not incriminate anybody.
You guys seen the movie? What's it called? Not Bad Boys. Oh, shit! I can't remember. Something Boys. It's about 3 like 12-year-olds.
Whoa! Okay.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
No. And
cover the ears of the 6-year-old. Cover the ears of the 6-year-old.
They just get in a bunch of mischief, and it's an R-rated comedy. Crap. But anyways, one of them finds his parents' anal beads, but they don't know what they are, and he gives them to this girl as a gift because he thinks it's like a necklace or a bracelet or something, and then he's like, "Oh, thank you so much for the necklace," and he's like, "Oh, they're anal." Like some fancy brand name.
No.
Oh my goddess.
Oh.
How recent is that movie?
Last 3 years or something.
Oh, okay.
Good Boys. Yes, Jonathan. Good Boys.
Good Boys.
It's hilarious. Like if you like things like Superbad or Accepted. Yeah, it's
Accepted. Haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah, you have.
Ask me about my wiener.
Yeah. My phone's going ding dong.
Wait, is Accepted the one where they form their own college or something like that?
Yeah, and it's got Lewis Black is like the dean of the school or something, the president of the school, and it's got Jonah Hill and Justin Long.
Yeah, anything with Justin Long, dude. Anything. Even if he just makes a cameo, I'm in.
And it was kind of like on the heels of Superbad, I think. I think it came out not long after that.
Yeah, and it kind of got... it wasn't as successful.
No. I really like Lewis Black, though, so I was a fan.
There's days I think I am Lewis Black. So anyway, that movie's Good Boys. I have to look
Good Boys, yeah.
See if that's on streaming.
Yeah, it was Universal Films, so Netflix, I think, has it. Well, actually, what I'm saying, that's Canada, so different world.
Canadian Netflix is not the same as American Netflix.
No, God no. When we first got Netflix up here, I signed up and ran out my subscription. You get like your free month, and like 2 weeks in, I had nothing left to watch. It was all documentaries. There was nothing legit. The most exciting thing I watched when Netflix first came here was JCVD.
What?
JCVD, Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's kind of a mock mockumentary about his life where he's playing himself, but then he gets stuck in a bank robbery. But he's really kind of useless. He's not really an action star, and he's dealing with his own personal issues. And it's like, wow, I'm so glad I didn't pay $9 for this.
I was going to say that actually sounds kind of interesting, but it wasn't that good. Huh?
Hey, it's not that good. I mean, as far as Jean-Claude Van Damme movies go, top notch. But that doesn't say much, right?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's up there with Universal Soldier and Time Cop. But yeah, that's about as far as that goes.
Yeah, honest to God, I felt so sorry for him, and was Expendables 2, because he was like really trying to act. He was like, "Yes, I got to get my motivation into this character. I have to understand what he's doing."
He's overachieving, and then you got Dolph Lundgren sitting there going like, "What are you happy feet? Got paid yet? Pay me now. Where's my money?"
Still, I was like, buffet after this take,
Yeah.
Oh God! Even Chuck Norris wasn't even taking it seriously.
Oh, Jean-Claude did a TV series, like a streaming series, where he's playing an actor, like an action actor, was also a super spy. I think Amazon had it. I don't think it lasted too long though.
Huh?
Are you surprised?
Well, he's trying. No, I'll give it to him.
Yeah, he's trying to do his job.
These streaming services, and especially like the networks, they are very quick to pull the plug on things.
Well, the streaming guys, they sign a season at least, right? So they'll be like, okay, we're gonna do a 8-episode season. Here's your whatever money, and if it's a stinker, it's a stinker. But like the networks are like, we're gonna do a pilot and then air it, and then maybe we'll do a second episode, and if no one in Minnesota complains, we'll do a third one.
It's all about Minnesota, damn it.
Or maybe Arkansas, I don't know, but they just cancel things for no reason.
Yeah, let's not bring Arkansas into this.
Like there was something that was it Fox just canceled? I think Manifest.
Oh yeah.
Highest rated show on TV in years. Canceled. It's like one day the headline's like Manifest gets highest ratings, the next day Fox cancels Manifest.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay.
I'm wondering what the deal is with that, because I'm of the theory that nobody really watches network TV in like large enough numbers. So a lot of people, for a show like Manifest, like once it goes to Netflix, people will start binging it and fall in love with it. But by that point,
Netflix
it's
picked
already
it up
too late.
after it got canceled.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all within a couple of days. It's like highest rated show. Netflix picks up Manifest, and then Manifest now on Netflix. But they might do what they did with Lucifer, where that got canceled for no reason. Netflix picked it up, and then they bought the production rights and did another 2 season or season and a half to wrap it up.
Was it Family Guy or Futurama, or maybe both of them, where it was kind of the same thing? Fox was running it, they canceled it, and then they just brought it back.
It was Family Guy, and that is because it's a similar thing that happened with Austin Powers, where it really didn't get any viewership on when it was on TV originally, but then it got a cult following after, and they were selling out the DVD, and the ratings were always good, so then they brought them back. And it was the same thing. Austin Powers, when it first released, did not do very well, but then once it went to VHS at that time, it was like one of the top rentals at Blockbuster, one of the top selling movies. So that's what they made more and re-released it in theaters.
Yeah, Adult Swim, I think, was responsible for getting Family Guy and Futurama more seasons. Because, that's when it really took off, is when they started showing the reruns and people were buying the DVDs.
Yeah, that's what I kind of remember. It just became like this cult syndicated hit, and then all of a sudden it's back on the networks again.
Yeah, and then it kind of gave them carte blanche, and then they were just making fun of it. But have you ever watched Family Guy on Netflix? They full on swear.
Really?
Yeah. It's quite shocking at first.
So I I have noticed that on Hulu with Rick and Morty, because they bleep out everything on TV, but when you're watching just the seasons, when you watch the old seasons on Hulu, yeah, they're cursing and everything. It is. You're right, though. It is kind of. When it first happened, you're like, "What happened?"
It's like, what did Stewie just call her? What?
Was that a hard T right there?
It's great. And I heard that they do that with The Walking Dead.
Huh.
There's an interview with what's his name, Negan.
Oh, yeah, I just went blank.
Richard
I
Dean
know.
Anderson? No, that's
Thank
MacGyver.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Same thing. Yeah.
Richard Dean Anderson, Harry Dean Stanton. You know, they're all.
Yeah. Houdini, whatever.
Houdini.
With him saying that they have to shoot everything twice, once for broadcast, once for stream.
That's
And-
crazy.
Well, he was going on about the scene that now very famous season finale death scene from a few years ago, where if you haven't watched it, Glenn gets turned to ground beef.
Oh, God, yeah. It's pretty brutal.
As a brutal scene, just gets his head beaten. That they shot that twice because he did the speech twice, once for TV, which is the one that most people saw, and once for Netflix or HBO Max or whatever it is, where he actually swears.
Huh.
And apparently the director told him to tone it down because he got too into character.
I'm busting a head here. Leave me alone.
Yeah. But it's weird. You kind of look at these shows and like, what would this be like with swearing? Or like
You know,
the
I
proper
don't know.
language?
I don't know how related this is to what we're talking about, but you know the story about Dracula? With Bela Lugosi, the original Dracula movie?
Which there's so many stories about this.
The Spanish version, what they call Mexican Dracula. I'm not kidding. This is real. This is so freaking funny. They had a they knew that they had a they were going to release the movie in Mexico, the U.S. release, and this was one of the few times that they were actually going to pay attention to the Spanish speaking audience. So they wanted to do a Spanish version of Dracula. Well, they didn't really have the technology to just dub the voices and just change it. So they reshot the entire movie. So while they were, and they actually had like different actors and stuff come in too at some points. And I have not seen this, but from what I understand, it's like a completely different movie. They kept the sets, everything the same that they were doing on the American version, and as soon as they would wrap up the scenes, whatever they were working on the American version, then they would just switch over and they would shoot all the Spanish speaking stuff afterwards, like usually like really late at night. And I don't even know if Lugosi's in it. I need to look into this, but there is a separate Dracula movie. And a lot of the critics actually say it's a lot better than the American.
Well, it's not like Bela Lugosi was like did quality cinema, right? Let's be honest there.
I was never a huge fan of that Dracula movie anyway. It was pretty bad. But I don't know. I just heard when you were talking about that they ended up shooting a different version for censorship reasons, and it's like, yeah, they did this with Dracula.
Can you imagine if they did that with something like the Avengers? Like they shot a whole different version of it with, for a different country.
Language? Oh,
that would be great.
I know.
The budget.
Iron Man 2, maybe, or 3. There's a different Chinese version that got released in China, which is very similar, but with different scenes.
Right. I was going to say they probably just did different scenes and maybe had a side plot of the movie that
because it's got
revolved around China.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't there a scene where like Tony talks about the glory of communism and the glory of the worker, and
Oh, the one where he bows down to the glorious reader. That's the North Korean version.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then there's the one where Glorious Leader comes down riding on a unicorn, and they pal together and talk about how shitty the U.S. is. Yeah, that's the North Korean version.
Yeah, this is never gonna air in Korea.
There goes your monetization.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Dozens of pennies I could earn this year. Just gone.
When the North Koreans start kidnapping live streamers to populate their media, you'll be safe, right?
Yeah, I'll be good. There's this documentary series on Netflix because that's all I watch. It's narrated by Peter Dinklage, and it's called like the Dictator's Handbook, something along those lines.
Okay.
It's 6 episodes, about 40 minutes each. Each episode focuses on a different crazy dictator. So it's like Hitler, Saddam Hussein, the Korean one's the last one because that's a legacy. It's not one guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember who else. Stalin or Lenin? Stalin.
So Stalin's pretty freaking crazy.
Yeah, Stalin was pretty bad, but they go into some of the crazy that they did, right? And turns out the Korean guy, I can't remember which one now. He was the minister of propaganda. So sorry, not the one that's in charge now. His father, when the grandfather was in charge. So I can't remember one of the Kims.
Nepotism.
Yeah. So, anyways, he had 2 sons. He wasn't the favorite son, but then he made this movie about how great Korea is, and put him in good graces with his father, and became the minister of propaganda. So he loved making movies. But they were having a hard time getting people to watch him. So what they did is they went to South Korea and kidnapped the most popular, top-grossing South Korean actress and her director husband, who was also the top-grossing, most popular director in South Korea, brainwashed them for like 4 years, came out and made an epic South Korean film with North Korean propaganda and stuff in there. It's insane. Even I believe that.
Is it that one monster movie that they're all talking about? It's like it's like a medieval movie. There's like these Korean warriors and armor and everything, and there's this giant like metal bull monster. And
possibly,
like
it's possible. Like, I haven't seen the movie.
That.
Yeah, like I haven't seen the movie. I just watched a documentary about it. Well,
it's on the. It's I follow a lot of the Godzilla stuff, and like all the Godzilla fans talk about this thing, and I've seen clips of it. I've seen reviews and clips of it. It's almost impossible to get in this country, but it's. I seem to remember that was one of the stories about it, was that the people that were making the movie were kidnapped by the Kim regime and made to make this movie.
Yeah, apparently kidnapping might still be like a real enterprise in North Korea.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. If you like this history stuff, I strongly advise you watch this documentary.
Actually, Michelle is on. My girlfriend Michelle is on this kick with. I think it's on Netflix. It's about ancient super weapons, and it's been completely fascinating. Stuff like Greek fire and the Chinese trebuchet and the introduction of gunpowder and rockets, and just like all the crazy stuff that they had using like polished shields to magnify the sunlight to burn. Ships to burn them out and attacking ships when they were coming in.
Really?
Wow.
You got to tell me what this is called. See if it's available up here.
I will. I'm going to have to. I can't do it right now, of course.
Not right now. Oh wait.
I'll be right back, Dre.
Stop
No.
what you're doing.
No, I'll send it over to you. I'll message you.
Yeah,
what it is.
that's never know.
I mean, she'll be coming home soon here anyway, and I'll ask her what it was. But I just kind of like would walk in and like, oh, and I just sit down and start watching this. I'm like, this is freaking great. One of the wildest ones was they had it was called the Phoenician fire ship, and this was brilliant. They were dealing with I think it was the Greeks were attacking this island, and the Phoenicians were just outmanned and just cut off. And I think it was, I would say it was the Greeks. I don't know. The Greeks were building like this causeway. They were literally like dumping rocks and making a causeway to reach this island. And they had like these two big wooden siege towers that they were pushing out to the end. And once they got to the island, they would just, push the siege towers up and just kill everybody inside this castle.
Right.
And the Phoenicians built this ship, and they weighted it in the back so that when it would go across the water, the bow would be raised up a little bit. And then they just filled it with dry kindling, like dead trees, just loaded it with anything that would burn. And at the very top were these two poles that had these big metal cauldrons filled with like oil, animal fat, anything that would burn quickly. And pretty much just like an accelerant. And then they sailed this thing in, and they got the speed up on it. They aimed it at the siege towers. And the guys on it set the ship on fire, jump off of it, and you get these burning ships coming in at full speed at this causeway with these towers on it. And they hit the causeway, and of course they go up on it because the bows are high. And when they hit the tower, the cauldrons drop into the fire and the burning wood, and the whole thing just blows up into this giant freaking fireball. And they set like crazy. 2 or 3 of these things, and it just like incinerated these siege towers and just like cut the entire thing off.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I was watching, I think it was a snippet of a movie, or maybe the full movie somebody sent me a few years back. It's one of these Bollywood high production action movies. Mm-hmm. And man, when they go out, they go all out. So there's this like Lord of the Rings size battle, right, between two armies. Very well produced, and you can see that some CG, some whatever. But at one point, one army shoots a bunch of these, like they catapult a bunch of balls with silk or something. Uh-huh. So it's like a giant mesh, not mesh, like a giant scarf that covers a few thousand people, and then they set it on fire.
Oh God! It's so like I know where this is going, and this is horrible.
We're like, well, this is crazy. And then they broke the song and dance, so I turned it off. But it was just, I don't get the Bollywood, the appeal of the Bollywood films, and I know that there's a pattern to them, and it's a specific way of filmmaking. I just don't get it.
There's a lot of people. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for Canada, but I know in this country that they freaking go nuts.
Yeah,
over
for
Bollywood.
Sure.
I mean, just like American filmmakers, American film buffs love Bollywood.
Yeah, and I don't understand the appeal, and because I've seen them, I don't get it because not making fun of it, but the song and dance is part of it. And we're going to see some of that in Eternals.
Oh, God, really?
No.
Because what's his name's character is a Bollywood actor. So there is a little song and dance scene in the movie, which is not part of the story, but because he is a Bollywood actor, it's in one of the first teaser trailers.
Now, is this only for the that version for that market, or is this?
No. It's part of the movie.
Oh my God!
I don't know how it ties to the story, but there is the scene because he's shooting a Bollywood film and he's doing that scene.
Hey, time out. I was gonna share the stream with the MCCW group. Is that cool? Is that against the rules?
Nobody's drawing Batman and no one's naked. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say, you know, we are talking about what was it? What were we talking about earlier? Underage boys doing bad things, and it was Andre
dear God,
Alsh's favorite
specify.
movie.
Oh dear God, specify now.
It's okay. Sorry.
So
Just
what were we
wanted to
talking about earlier? Bad boys doing bad things.
Okay, so that's legit in the movie.
In New Orleans.
Yeah, a lot of bad things.
So
happening
that's in the
here.
movie because he is, and like I said, I don't know to what extent it's tied into the storyline, but that scene exists because he is a Bollywood actor. Raj, what's his name? He was on Parks and Rec.
Maybe Raj,
No.
was it Raj Patel?
No, Aziz Ansari was in Parks and Rec, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I know. He was in that Silicon Valley show.
Yeah, Silicon Valley. That's where it was in.
Okay.
He's funny. He's good.
Doesn't mean I want to see him sing and dance.
Yeah. You know, that's just one movie I haven't really been able to get excited about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard because it's such a weird story arc, right? But it opens the door to everything. Right?
I mean, guys, I loved the source material. I mean, when Kirby was doing that book, I loved that comic. But
hey, Matt. Yeah, sorry.
What's up, Matt?
Matt
Coons in
is
the
in the
house.
house.
Speaking of bad boys doing bad things.
What color are Rogue's eyes? Are they green?
Everything's green.
Yeah. I think a lot of people usually do it in green because she's got that reddish hair.
Yeah.
I think the trick is that if you do Savage Rogue right, nobody cares what color her eyes are.
Does she even have eyes? Does she have eyes? This is the question.
Eyes are up here, big guy.
So, speaking of Matt, no, it has nothing to do with that.
It does now, though.
It does now. What's her name from Upper Deck, the social media coordinator, whatever? I can't remember what the teller was. She had
Angelica.
Yes, Angelica. Sweet girl, very nice, very polite, very knowledgeable. But she had a Zoom call. Anyway, she had a Zoom call a couple of weeks ago. It was kind of like her last bi-weekly Zoom call with the community. And I know Matt Combs was on a lot of them. But somebody asked, "Oh, where's Matt?" She's like, "Oh, he's like doing some training because he's got like a big boy job." Matt's a pilot, right?
A big boy.
Yeah.
So Matt's a pilot. So yeah, it's like he's got like a big boy job. So
well, she's not lying, man.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So that reminded me.
She's not lying.
Is that why she left Upper Deck? Because she didn't consider it a big girl job?
I don't know. I wasn't on the call for long, so I'm not sure what the journey was. But
though, I think when she started getting involved in the group and everything, that was kind of around the time I think things started to kind of get much better, And I think she probably should be commended for a lot of that.
Oh yeah, I mean her community involvement, and I know Jay, this doesn't mean much to you because you live on a different planet, but I mean that.
Stupid humans talk cars, make Hulk mad.
But yeah, she was definitely useful.
Car talk, make Hulk head hurt.
Um,
Sorry.
yeah, no problem, Matt. I don't know if you wanted people to know that, but I just remembered, so I said it.
That's a cool thing.
It's only like 19 people watching. It's okay.
Oh yeah, I just sent it out to TikTok too, so the 12-year-old should be along soon.
Yay!
I'm just kidding.
Let's
Talk
talk about
beer and
let's
boobies.
talk more about boys in New Orleans.
Tell us how you earned your beads.
Oh.
Mom, what's an all?
That always reminds me of Arrested Development and Tobias, the anarchist.
I never got into that show.
Oh my god!
Really?
So
Really? Oh man, that was a great show.
Is that not Nathan Fillion, the guy that looks like Nathan Fillion?
yes, Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman, yeah. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Sorry.
Dear God, I never thought of that. That's kind of funny. I never noticed that he does.
So there's a character Tobias, which was the main character's brother-in-law, but so he would talk about his profession or whatever, and his profession was an analrapist, which is spelled, just spell it in your head and you can figure out. I don't really want to say that out loud on a stream.
No,
but...
we got you. No, we got you. We got you.
Yeah.
We got you.
Anal
yeah.
rapist.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah, that's
Very similar to the Saturday Night Live skit where the fake Sean Connery took therapists as a category in Jeopardy.
Yes.
Oh.
Exactly.
because your mother's a whore, Trebek. Sorry.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, Gordon. I keep interrupting you with my.
No.
Bullshit.
I was done.
Oh, okay.
What's the matter, Trebek? A little soy on a hot date last night, sweetheart.
I'll take Ash words for 500.
We're on a tangent now.
But yeah, Jason Bateman, Nathan Fillion, they actually make fun of that on an episode of Castle. I don't know if you guys ever watched that. But Nathan Fillion's on it, and his character is kind of like a Stephen King type famous writer. So, and he's helping the police in New York. So he's like, "Oh, I got a bunch of fans came to me asking for autographs." It's like, "Oh, I don't remember what the question was," and it's like, "No, actually, turns out they thought I was the other guy." Can't remember his name now.
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman, yeah. Turns out they thought I was Jason Bateman. Jay, yeah. Christos is asking, what art supply is that, Jay?
This is watercolors.
Is that the fancy watercolor, or is that the dollar store watercolors?
Well, it's both actually, but I've been using both. But yes, we have the set that I bought at Walmart. Ooh.
Oh.
Lots of colors, pretty. And then the other one I bought at Walmart, not so pretty. Ooh. And actually, they work really well. I don't really go into the tubes of the expensive stuff. This actually works much better. I can control it a lot better with. Of course, I've been investing in these pens. I love these things. You know, that you just fill them with water and pretty much use them on anything. I use them on ink. I use them on sometimes dry media and wet it with that. It's just like instant watercolor pen.
So you use those with ink too when you're doing like ink wash?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I actually ruined several of them. I used to put straight ink inside of them instead of water, or I would you put diluted ink inside of it, and they just kept crudding up to the point where you couldn't use them. But and I was watching somebody demonstrate these things. I said, well, what you do is you just keep the clean water in the reservoir, and then you can actually dip the brush into whatever you want, even straight India ink, and paint with that. But the thing is once the water's coming out the other end, you can kind of clean it. It cleans itself.
It dilutes it on the fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you really have to scrub it with soap and water. And I mean, maybe after a while you would. I would recommend it, but while you're on the fly using it, it's pretty easy. It's just you can keep the you can load it up and then paint with it, and then it just starts diluting itself out, and then you just load it up again. But then when you're done, you just kind of get it. I just keep a piece of media paper nearby for a blotter, and it just comes right out.
And they're fairly, like, if you think about it compared to a brush, it's got a better lifespan than a normal brush.
Oh heck yeah!
And the price the same as a medium price brush, right?
Yeah, cheaper, much cheaper actually. I got. Well, I don't know if they
on
have,
eBay you can get 6-packs for $4.
They had, it's we have these stores around here. I don't know if they have them down south or up in Canada, but they're called Five Below. They're just like these discount stores. And lately, the one around here started stocking art supplies.
Ooh.
And they had, I got a set of knockoff Copics for $4. And it's like, I don't care, they're knockoff. I mean, I'm going to beat the hell out of them, for $4.
Go beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that's one of the things that whenever younger artists ask me stuff about that, I try and explain to them. They ask what markers I use, and I tell them, but I try and explain to them you don't have to use the super expensive stuff.
No, not at all.
My big thing when it comes to markers is, as long as they play well with other brands of markers, I will try them out. That's the only thing. As long as they blend well with the different brands, then I'm all good with trying whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So politically correct. Well, you have to play well with others.
Well, I'm just saying, I've had some that kind of sucked. So I was like, well, I'm not buying these again because I already have so many other kinds. So I'm not, if I can't use them with all of them, I'm going to get rid of them.
Yeah, I gotta actually commend Gordon on that one. That's a great way of putting it. Really, that's the truth. It's you're working on this stuff, and it's got to be kind of compatible with different types of media, or it's just going to look terrible. Mm-hmm. And it's got to work well, man. It's got to play well.
Yeah, Dre, take that.
So take it. Take that to the bank.
Take that, Quasar. You're in. I am going to just never stop on that. I'm sorry. Dre's like, you're never coming on again. Enjoy it now, buddy. You're never coming on here again.
Quasar. If you're gonna do it right, okay?
Quasar.
Oh, were you the one that started that?
The what?
The Quasar thing? Was it Jay that called? Well, no. Dre pronounced it wrong. Were you the one that called him out on it originally?
I just laughed my ass off. I don't know if I called him out. I just started laughing.
I think he's like, what?
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember when it originated from. Was it from that one of those streams where there was 8 people there?
Yeah, it was one of the sketch card challenges where there was a lot of people.
God, that was such a great magical moment.
Was what the hell did you just say?
So yes, it's great PR for me. It's yes, get Jay on your live stream. He will publicly humiliate you on your own live stream.
It's great. I love it.
Warner was on that one too, if I remember.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, you two, Warner, Monshaw, Jason.
Oh, that's right.
And maybe Mike LaPeruta.
That's right.
It was Donald was there. It was epic. It's just one of those things. Okay, I need to go do what big boys do. Or little boys. I gotta run to the washroom. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna mute myself.
Oh my God.
Wait, did you just say I gotta do what big boys do to little boys?
But not in New Orleans.
I'm going to let that, just simmer there for a minute. I'll be back
not
in a minute.
New Orleans, all right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so all you 12-year-olds listening right now.
Sorry about this, Christos.
Oh God.
All right.
I swore I was going to behave. I swore.
Is that on the rules?
Oh shit! I gotta peek over. I didn't even see what you're working on. Let me see. Oh, the rogue's looking good, man.
Thank you. I think I'm going to do an Electra also, or I actually have some other cards that I've been working on. So I've started trying to list them on eBay sometimes,
Yeah.
just because the benefit in my mind, yeah, it sucks with all the fees, but if I post stuff on there and if it sells, it's great because it's stuff that I want to draw.
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, sure, commissions would be great, but I can just draw whatever. If it's like for another piece of content, like a video or something like that, something
Yeah.
to share. It's not like I have to draw such and such. So I've been trying that out.
Yeah. I sympathize with you about commissions. I'm kind of running it out all the time myself, but yeah, it's just the part of the gig, it sucks
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah, I just finished one that I was putting off for so long. I had actually forgotten about it at first because it happened, like I took it on when the pandemic and everything was just first starting.
Yeah.
And it was a guy that I'd done work for before. And it
Okay.
was he was getting custom Blu-ray covers done for like his horror movies.
Oh, okay. That's a cool job.
Yeah, it was neat, the idea of it, but then he wanted me to do one for Shaun of the Dead, and my biggest problem was I couldn't visualize what I wanted to do, and just
Yeah.
like trying to get that right was the most painful part, and I was putting it off because I couldn't figure it out. And then I finally finished it, but it was just one of those things. It's like I wanted to do it. I really liked the guy, and like I had liked doing work for him before and everything. He's a nice guy, but I was just like, man, this is painful.
Oh, I get you, man. I mean, and especially when it's something like you get excited, you're like, oh, this will be great. This will be such a fun project. And then it hits you. It's like, yeah, what do I do?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, it's not like, it's really simple or something iconic that, it's just like, yeah, one or two shots and it kind of make it. But yeah, where do you go that hasn't been done a million times? Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, it's like him standing there with a cricket bat kind of sums it all up.
Yeah, and that's actually kind of what I did.
Oh, there you go.
So what I ended up doing was on the front part of it, I had him standing there with the cricket bat, like standing kind of bent over, had the tie on his head, and then I had like these silhouetted hands coming from the top and the bottom. So it was but they were kind of like cartoony hands. They were like all like the fingers were all bent wrong. Some of them were like chopped off. And so then I had like the text in there. I had Shaun at the top and white in that black part. And then on his cricket bat, I wrote dead in red and kind of had like some blood spatter on it a little bit.
Okay.
And then on the back part, I kept the same little border. I didn't do the hands on the back part, but I just kind of did like a shoulder up bust of him on the back. I didn't want to overthink it. And I was like, you know what? Got to get this done. So
yeah,
kind of went with the path of least resistance.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. It was like that's what I hate about commissions is you just can't put them away. And some of the best pieces that I've put out that I've made prints out of, I would run into that problem where I'm like, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't like it. And it was simple enough to say, well, just lock it away in the drawer until you do, until an idea hits you. And I had a couple of pieces that worked really, really well on. But if they were commissions, no. I mean, somebody's going to be like, "Where's my piece?" And you're like, "Yeah, I got to get this out." And so you'll send out something that you're like, "Yeah, it's okay. It works." But then down the road, when you're looking for jobs and stuff, and you're looking for recommendations, this guy's like, "Oh, this guy did me this great Shaun of the Dead piece," and you're looking at it going, "Ouch!" That's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a natural feeling too, though. When you look back at something you did and you're just like, well, 6 months later, you're like, well, I could have done a much better job.
Yes. But you don't have that option with a commission. It has to go out. And it's so much a better luxury. And it is a luxury just to have that piece that, like if you were just doing that for yourself, you're like, yeah, I want to do a Shaun of the Dead piece. And you start doing it and you kind of hit that area where you're like, yeah, I don't know where this is going. I'm not seeing it. And then you just say, I'm going to just put it away. And then suddenly, you might be, in the shower or eat dinner or something, and suddenly it'll hit you. Or you're watching the movie
Mhm.
and you'll put the movie in and you're like, oh, there's a great scene. Something
Yeah.
I never even thought about. And, then now you're like, oh, I can go back and visit that. And then, now you've got a killer, very unique Shaun of the Dead piece that
nobody asked for?
everybody's going to love. Did you wash your hands?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, buddy.
I have a funny toilet paper story, but I don't know if I should.
Let's hear it.
So,
Prove it.
got my own office, and it's just basically me and my business partner. And when we run low on toilet paper, I'm just like, hey, if you're going to the store, we're low on toilet paper, right? So I use Cashmere Ultra Soft 3-ply. 12 rolls is the value of 48 rolls. It's quality stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm accustomed to a very high level of I don't know, like absorption and comfort and durability and whatever, right? Well, he purchases.
Your butt has standards, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, of course. Gotta have standards. No, he uses. I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's the one with the cat or Scotty's or something. Whatever.
There's no toilet paper with a cat. What are you talking about? Cats would tear toilet paper up.
No, there's a brand that's got a kitten on it. You guys not have that there?
Canada thing. I don't know.
I was gonna say, yeah.
We got a bear.
It's like Canada thing.
Yeah, the one with the bear, the blue pack. That's the one that I like. The ultra soft, not the ultra strong.
Snuggle. No.
I don't know. Maybe it's a Canadian brand. Anyway, so he buys that, and it's still considered premium toilet paper brand. It's 3-ply. It's not like motel quality, but it's not the same. And it's just like, so we got that. And I'm like, what is this? And we're in a damn budget? Like, what the hell?
So is that why you were asking about the preparation H?
No, that was something that
Ooh, the plot thickens.
the plot thickens. Yeah, no. So that's something that it came up in conversation the other day, and then I just messaged Jay and asked them if they had. Hey, do you guys have menthol flavored preparation on there?
Yeah, and all I could think of was, yep, Canada.
It's maple syrup flavor or scented. I don't know.
People said it. Jesus.
But it kind of made me want to go into Shoppers Drug Mart, which is like, I guess, like a Rexall down there, or IDA, whatever. It's one of those chains of pharmacies that basically sell everything, and just ask them, where's the preparation age and what flavors do they have available, and wait for the reaction from the pharmacist.
Or be shocked when they actually bring out something like, wild cherry or,
Passion fruit.
passion fruit.
We're all out of maple syrup, but we have honey glazed ham.
Honey glazed ham. There you go.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so I guess that toilet paper story is really not that funny. That's a more movie.
it's nice to get a little insight into you, Dre.
Yeah, get to know the artist.
12-year-old kids don't get to know the artist.
No.
Don't get to know him.
You don't play well with kids.
Look up stranger danger in the dictionary. There's his picture.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Man, now I gotta look up and see what color her eyes are. Does Polaris have blue eyes?
Probably green, because she's got the green hair and everything, right?
Oh, you're right. They probably are green.
Trey, wasn't it you and Warner that we were all having the conversation about the eye color of Marvel characters?
Yeah.
Possibly. Feel like I've had that conversation several times.
It's like all the redheads have green.
One thing we were talking about is like for a long time, just about every character had blue eyes.
Yeah.
So you guys feeling Shang-Chi? You guys buying the hype?
I want to see it.
I do want to see it, but I'm not gonna buy the hype yet. That's been let down too many times from movies. Like the hype just gets out of control, and it cannot live up to that expectation because it could be like perfectly good, and then everybody telling you it's the best movie ever. I mean, that's the problem I had with Black Panther. Black Panther was not bad at all, but everybody built that movie up to be, top 2 or 3 Marvel MCU movie, and it's not even close.
I agree. I saw Black Panther before release, and I was like, okay, that was pretty good. And then so I saw it on like the Wednesday before, and then the press and everything else was the Tuesday after, and then people were just like, oh my god, it's a great, and the sneak previews and everything else, and people are just losing their mind like this. I don't get it. It wasn't bad,
right?
It wasn't bad at all. It's definitely a good MCU movie. Hey, Bianca's in the house.
Hey, Bianca.
Says, Bianca. Polaris has green eyes in her world.
In her world,
and that's what matters.
Yeah, that's
what matters.
But yeah, people are just going crazy about how fantastic Black Panther is. It's like, okay, I don't think it's
so. Marvel's figured out their formula, and they do a really good job of pumping out movies in that formula. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's not bad. It's a good movie, but it's just, the hype train took over, and it's like, how can it possibly live up to that?
Yeah.
Well, now, what about, did you guys see Black Widow?
I have not yet.
I have not heard great things about it.
But it's just it's almost like down the line. I hear people telling me how great it is. I hear people telling me how good it is, and then I hear people telling me how horrible it is.
It comes out to what people are expecting from the movie.
Yeah.
And it's just like Snake Eyes.
Oh.
Right. I haven't seen Snake Eyes yet, but I've seen some of the press coverage and some of the reviews, like greatest action movie in years.
Oh, no.
And then people are telling me like Mortal Kombat was better, and that doesn't say much.
It's bad, right? It's really bad.
I'm gonna watch it.
So I saw Suicide Squad. That's probably the most recent movie I've seen. And yeah, so have you seen it?
Yeah,
not yet.
I have.
Okay. It was fun. It wasn't a great movie by any stretch, but it was fun. I enjoyed it, but yeah.
It was very much a James Gunn movie. Very much a James Gunn movie.
I don't love the gratuitous violence, like the over the top faces and stuff. Like I like that to an extent, but it gets kind of old with me pretty quick. So like after that, after the 3rd or 4th time, I was like, okay, whatever. But I love John Cena in it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, John Cena's getting his own show for that character, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't bode well.
And Idris Elba was good too, but I mean that was to be expected.
Yeah,
he elevates everything just because he's so good. But I don't know.
Yeah. But when you're talking about Snake Eyes, though, like we went and saw it because we had an evening to kill, and my girlfriend's like, let's go out, do dinner and a movie. We hadn't done that in a while, and let's see what's playing. And I just started paging through what was on the webpage, and was surprised. I didn't even know it was out. And I said, well, the Snake Eyes movie's out, the G.I. Joe one, but it's ninjas. So how bad can it be? Let's go see ninjas. And it was awful. It was just the dumbest, worst acted, just horribly written. There was like almost nothing redeeming about it. I mean, I was even trying to get in the frame of the mind of like, okay, picture yourself as a G.I. Joe fan. Maybe that'll help. And that made it worse.
Disrespected me.
Yeah, I started getting like outrage geek going on. I'm like, no, I don't need that now. I really don't need that now.
So, did you like the new Kong?
The King Kong Godzilla?
Thanks, Bianca.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I did. It was. I mean, it's what I expected. It was. Those giant monster movies. You're going to have bad characters. You're going to have, it just kind of ridiculous scripting, but it's like big monsters beating the crap out of each other. You can't really lose. And I was actually pleasantly surprised that it really focused on Kong and made Kong kind of fun.
Yeah.
I got a kick out of that, and just the what I'm looking for is, but just the character that they put into the monsters. They weren't just like guys in rubber suits. There was a little character that kind of went along with them. But yeah, it was a fun, stupid movie. I'm not gonna lie there.
Because I know you're a big Godzilla.
Yeah. And I mean, you get a thick skin when it comes to scripts because of that. I hear people kind of criticize, especially the newer Godzilla movies, and I just laugh, and it's like
it's Godzilla.
Yeah,
right.
What were you expecting?
I want Academy Award level performance from the supporting cast is going to get stepped on.
Yeah, at the peak of these movies in the '60s, there was a scene where Godzilla, after beating King Ghidorah, jumps up and starts doing an Irish jig on the moon. I mean, what do you want?
So that's it. You bring up a good point. I never really was big into Godzilla, watched a lot of that, and I was working on Ultraman trading cards a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And so part of the preparation for me to do that was I was trying to go through reference and everything. And they have a lot of like the original series on YouTube. So I would go back and watch old episodes. And I mean, these monsters, I mean, there's no like, and of course, I guess this was in the 60s or whatever, so it's different today. But you look at those things and you have to suspend your disbelief. You just have to. You can't expect freaking what you see in an Avengers movie, because those are, for the most part, humans,
Yeah, the guys in rubber suits, and they're doing wrestling moves on each other. It's there's only so much there's only so much credibility you can put into that.
Right.
But like a lot of stuff, and I'll even say, I think horror fans appreciate this, and I know, like, when I do horror shows an awful lot, I'll sell a lot of Godzilla stuff, and I think it's the same kind of thinking where it's not so much what's going on right in front of you on the screen, but what it's inspiring you about. Where you're watching a Godzilla movie and you're seeing guys in rubber suits smack each other, but then the brain starts kicking in with the story behind this, and this robot here and that monster there, and where they come from, and wouldn't it be cool if you saw it in this setting, and just the artistic value of it, the aesthetic of the thing, and the design of the thing, and then just the possibilities of what could be happening in this, and it's just a lot of imagination feeding.
Yeah.
And I think horror films the horror fans kind of expect that, where you see like a slasher film. If you sat down and actually like analyze a slasher film, it's going to make you laugh. But yet these people keep going back and watching them over and over again, and you love them.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the old fan fiction principle, I think, where you get into the fandom and it just takes over. It's not it gets bigger than the sum of its parts, as opposed to like a lot of the superhero stuff where, well, I can't say that because it does happen with superhero stuff, but with a lot of movies where people are just sort of limited to what they're actually seeing on the screen. It's like, well, is this a good movie? Well, it's either a good movie or it's not. It's not going to be. It's like a bad movie, but I had a lot of fun. I don't know if
Well-
any of that makes any sense.
Expendables.
Yes, exactly.
If you walked into that movie expecting to see quality filmmaking, you shouldn't have walked into that movie, right?
You
Oh,
got what you
dude.
deserve. You literally got what you deserve.
got what you. But if you wanted to go in there and watch over the top action and just one-liners back to back,
Yeah.
that's exactly
And-
what it is. And this is why it made the amount, like the whole franchise made stupid amounts of money.
Yeah, if you
Right?
want to see Mel Gibson and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone trade insults on each other because you've been wanting to see it for years, there you go.
Yeah. That's like the nostalgia of the whole idea of all those guys getting together.
Yeah.
It's enough to just print money.
Yeah, and even the fans of that movie, you know, most of them, because I know there's going to be some strange ones, but most people who are fans of those movies, you would go, okay, what was Expendables 2 about?
Blowing shit up.
I was about to say,
Yeah, I mean, it's like-
blow it up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Is
Donald.
anybody going to be saying it's like, oh no, they rescued the dictator's daughter? And no. Who cares?
It's about
And-
Jason Statham reliving his childhood and reconnecting with Barney. Really?
And then Stone Cold Steve Austin was the bad guy.
And Eric Roberts. I mean, you know what? Has Eric Roberts done anything that ever disappointed you? I don't think so.
No, he never did. Even those crappy '90s bad thrillers he was in were awesome.
My favorite one. What was the one the karate movie he was
Best
in?
of the
I think
best.
Yes, that's
Yes,
my
Best
favorite
of the
one.
best is gold. It's
I love that
cinematic
movie.
gold.
Yes,
Right? Like it's up there within that genre with Bloodsport and Kickboxer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like Best of the Best is amazing.
well, let's talk underrated. Brandon Lee in Rapid Fire.
Rapid
Wow,
fire.
went blank on that. You don't know that one?
Blanked me on that one. Yeah.
Right before The Crow, it was kind of his breakout movie.
No,
he did
wasn't
this
it Showdown in Little Tokyo with Dolph Lundgren?
You are right, but Rapid Fire was right after that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right. That was his breakout movie. But they made this movie called Rapid Fire, which was just freaking great. It was everything you expect for like one of those movies. There was, I think, like a subway train blows up in it. He takes on 50 guys with machine guns and somehow hits them.
That's what I'm expecting out of Shang-Chi.
I'm hoping.
Have you guys seen Ninja Assassin?
I don't think so.
No, I have heard it's fantastic. Though.
It is a masterpiece. Honestly, I don't know if the main guy, he's a Korean pop star, goes by the name of Rain. So I don't know how much training he really does have or whether it's all choreographed, but it is outstanding.
Huh.
Like, look at Mortal Kombat, all the fight scenes there before they got Mortal Kombat like powers with shooting laser beams and fire from their fists.
Mhm.
Whole movies like that.
Nice.
And it's just, I mean, he's not bad. The story's interesting. It's got a good plot. I mean, he's not the greatest actor because he's like, you know.
Wait, there was a Kung
Indeed.
Fu channel, Donald?
What?
Kung
Whoa,
Fu
what?
channel.
I'm reading the comments, and he just asked, "Who here is old enough to remember the Kung Fu channel on cable?" I didn't know there was a Kung Fu channel.
No, you got me on that one, man. I didn't either.
Early 80s.
Now, locally in the Pittsburgh market, they used to run, I'm not kidding, on Sundays, they called it Kung Fu Theater. and they would run like all the great 60s Hong Kong Kung Fu movies. But, that predates that. I've never heard of the Kung Fu channel.
Earlier today, YouTube, in its infinite wisdom, started recommending me videos about fake martial arts. I don't know how we got to it, but there's a couple of great little 20-minute documentaries talking about all the fake martial artists like Frank Dukes that Bloodsport was based on, and all these guys with the energy fighting and stuff like that. And it's very interesting.
Nice.
About how they fooled everybody.
Well, yeah, and like there was this guy. He used to be in all the Marvel comics in the '80s. He had a big afro, and he was like Count something, and had the ad saying that he's like the most lethal man on earth, and you can order this book.
Yeah, there was like a picture of a Black Panther and a dragon in it. It was like this black and white ad. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so him, they were talking about him, and like zero training, zero capability, just made up some shit. And there's also one of the other recommended videos that I hit was about all these guys who claim to have all these skills and magic powers, and then a lot of them call out real fighters, but usually nothing really happens. But in a few cases, they did go in the ring with like professional MMA fighters or kickboxers.
Whoa! Back up. They don't really have magic powers.
No, yeah, that's. But what's interesting is, like,
dude, no, I can't go on. I can't go on.
Who is in like his 60s?
This was like.
Good.
I was just gonna say this is like Dragon Ball Z in real life, or at least that's what they're letting on.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna go, whoa, and then like your you're gonna pass out, or they're gonna. And some of them went on. There was one guy that went on the news, and then, or National Geographic, sorry, and the National Geographic guy is like, "Okay, do to me. I volunteer for you to knock me out," and he didn't. And then he was blaming it. It's like I don't know. Maybe he wasn't a true believer, or it could be something as simple as his tongue wasn't. No, but check this out. Or his tongue was in the wrong position, and then the balance is off, so it wouldn't have like thrown off the life force or something. Like, and it's like you could have one toe pointing up, one toe pointing down, and then none of this stuff works on you.
Jeez, that's great.
Right? Like that was the argument.
That's like the Jim Jones of martial arts, huh? Jonestown for martial artists.
Did you guys?
His toe was wrong.
Did you guys ever see the Men Who Stare at Goats?
Oh my god, that's genius.
The death touch scene. I still crack up over that.
Oh,
where
I don't. How much like that's supposedly based on some real thing? Like I'm sure they took a lot of liberties with the exaggeration of it.
No, there really is. It's the Deckmar or the Deckmar or whatever it's called. Yeah, there really is something in legend of that. Yeah, but the way they described it, I was cracking up. I'm like, yeah, that's what you guys were reminding me when you're talking about this. Is like that's exactly what these guys do. It's that same hustle. You know what I'm talking about, Gordon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dimmock, yes.
Dimmock,
thank you.
Dimmock. Thank you.
But yeah, back to the original point. Some of these guys actually got in the ring with MMA fighters or like kickboxers or whatever, and they just get destroyed.
Yeah,
like full on destroyed. But this one older guy who's got to be mid-60s, and he just gets knocked out. Not knocked out, like he just gets straight punched right in the face, and it's like this guy's never been hit in the face, and you can tell by his reaction and the shock of like you don't know what it's like to get punched in the face until you've actually gotten punched in the face. And it is, the pain aside, it is quite an experience, right?
Yeah, it's a shock.
It's like your first beer. You don't forget it.
No.
But he was just like totally like, how is this even possible that this guy didn't just pass out when I waved my hand at him? And it's very simple. It's because he wasn't paying attention and he punched him in the face instead.
That's great.
Again, obviously his toes were misaligned, so
yeah, gotta get that chi focused.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not quite sure how old you guys are, but like that whole thing is a real reflection on that time period in the 70s where, I mean, it was kung fu crazy. Everything was kung fu, and there was really this idea that there were guys that could like walk through walls and punch out tanks and crap, just because of their training.
Yeah, it was such a mystical, like revelation that like everybody believed in. And I was like, oh, there's this whole thing from, hey, Jonathan, there's this whole thing coming out of the Orient, this whole new world of spiritual fighting and becoming one with nature and whatever, that you can just defy elements or defy physics, right? And it's like, no, nobody's walking through walls. I don't care what the ad in the newspaper says.
Yeah. The guy in the afro is not the most lethal man on the planet. Do not believe that.
Yeah.
That's why we have Shang-Chi, though, right?
Yeah, I mean,
because of all that.
Yeah, because Shang-Chi in the comic books is like Bruce Lee.
He is Bruce Lee. That's what it was based on.
Yeah. Great.
Bruce Lee, man.
And there was a guy in the Street Fighter franchise who was pretty much Bruce Lee. I can't remember.
Do you mean Tekken or Virtua Fighter?
No, Street Fighter.
Who in Street Fighter? Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
In like Street Fighter 3.
Yeah, he yelled, didn't he? Didn't he do the yell?
Exactly.
Yes, you're right.
And he had like the dragon kick, and it was great. And he looks like Bruce Lee.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Have you seen the article that's been flying around about the stuntman that actually did fight Bruce Lee? That is about that controversy in the Tarantino movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they actually have been publishing the real story about what actually happened, and it's funny because it really does call bullshit on Tarantino. But Tarantino, no matter what he says, he's Tarantino.
Yeah, he's.
I mean, he made a movie where they killed Hitler. Let's be honest. It's like, okay.
Yeah, maybe not historically accurate.
Yeah,
but Kill Bill, 100% happened. I saw it on CNN.
It certainly did. It certainly did.
But I love that scene in Once Upon a Time in LA when he's like, I'm considered a lethal weapon. If I kill you, I go to prison. It's like, yeah, it's called manslaughter. It's just the logic behind it, because that line's been used in movies before. It's like, if you get in a fight with him and he kills you, he's going to go to prison. Yeah, everybody's going to go to prison. Yeah, I don't care. You like throw your shoe at someone the wrong way and they die. You're going to prison.
That's called murder, and it's like the worst thing.
All right. Oh shit! I gotta wrap it up.
Shoot, man.
Donald saying one of the reasons Doctor Strange did so well when he first came out in the mid '60s, the whole Orient thing. Yep.
Yeah.
The mystic arts.
I shall throw it in there real quick before I go. That story about the real stuntman. All he did was pick Bruce Lee up and hold him up. That's all he did. They were. Bruce Lee was, I guess, rough on stuntmen. He was actually hitting him and such. And they decided they wanted to teach him a lesson. And they brought in this guy who was like the baddest stuntman there was. And he didn't really get into a fight with Bruce Lee, but they started. And, he just tagged Bruce a couple times. Bruce got mad, came at him, and the guy grabbed him and picked him up. And he just held him up in the air. And Bruce couldn't do shit. Suddenly he realized it's like, I'm up in the air and I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And this drove him crazy, and he couldn't do anything. He knew that. I mean, what ended up happening was they ended up becoming friends, because then after this, Bruce calms down a little bit. Guy puts him down, and that's all he said is like, "Calm down, or I'll put you down," and I'll put you down. So he does, and right afterwards, Bruce, of course, being Bruce Lee, is, okay, you got to. We're going to be friends, and we're going to train together because I need to learn how to get out of that. And that's exactly what happened. And they ended up being friends for the rest of Bruce's life.
That's cool.
And they actually they trained together. But it's just like that keeps coming up, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I saw that in the movie." And and some people are so angry. It's like, "Yeah, it never would have happened." It's like, well, it kind of did, but not like that.
Yeah, just kind of assert dominance.
Yeah, assert dominance.
That's exactly what it is, though, right? It's
I know.
like when a lion's messing with an elephant, the elephant's not gonna step on the lion, but it's gonna like give it a little push to kind of say like, if I just to show that, hey, I can really push you, and then they usually go away.
Yeah. The guy calms down, and the lion calms down, and everybody's happy. It's just like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm being an idiot.
It's yeah, and I really gotta go. But I was talking to. We were watching The Accountant with Ben Affleck.
Oh yeah.
Great movie if you haven't seen it. And there's a scene where he's doing all the sensory deprivation stuff with the loud music, and he's rolling his shins with that stick. And
right.
Pam, my girlfriend's asking, why the hell would they do that? And I was explaining to her the whole kickboxing thing, and why they do it, like rolling the joints to get the hard skin so you can kick through trees and all that other stuff. And it's like, why would anybody want to be able to do that? And things like, I don't think anything will stop a fight from taking place like somebody kicking through a tree.
True.
Or like taking down a lamppost or parking meter. Because if that fight still continues, somebody's got issues, right? Like, and it's like asserting dominance without actually doing anything. Like, I don't, it's.
You got two tree kickers. I can't even say it.
Yeah, they're going to do it myself. Like, okay.
Oh man, that's great. That's great.
I was a bouncer for a few years, and a lot of fights really stopped before they really started by someone basically not hitting someone, but just showing like, if this goes any further, it's going to escalate really fast and it's going to escalate really hard.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're not going to like it.
Yeah. You're not going to like it. So
things got real.
Huh.
Yeah.
Dang. You sure you gotta go? This is getting fun.
Yeah, I gotta go pick up a cage. Hang on, let me see.
We're gonna leave it at that, kids.
Yeah,
I used to be a bouncer. I'm going to pick up a cage, and the 12-year-old boys in New Orleans.
I can do maybe like 7 more minutes, but it's gonna take me. We'll stick around for a little bit longer. Yeah, this is great fun.
Most family fun show ever, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, please, Dre, let me keep coming back. This is so much fun.
Guys, I said before, it's open invitation. I don't really like chase people to hop on, but if I'm ever on and you want to come on, just drop me a note, right?
I will. I just ask because that's just me. I have to ask. I always do. I will definitely take you up on that, though. This is so much fun. I know.
I have to beg him every time.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Oh, yeah.
But I was talking to someone last week or whatever, at some point. At one point, I want to do kind of like a tutorial stream.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone wants to kind of show how to do something.
I gotta figure out what I'm doing myself first.
Like, I'm not saying like, how to paint a comic book cover in 6 easy steps, right? I mean, Gordon, you do this a lot on TikTok, right? Like, okay, how to draw a face.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Right, like those kind of things, because we get the questions a lot, or how to blend colors or whatever.
I'd be for that.
Somebody asked me the other day, is like, okay, any tips on how to draw Ghost Rider? And say, draw a scald and set it on fire.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But there is little tricks, right?
Yeah.
So
the first time that I drew Ghost Rider, I looked up how to make fire with markers first, and then kind of went from there. The skull, just him particularly. Like, you got to think about it too. Like, not all skull characters you want to look exactly the same. So you got to figure out ways how to differentiate the skulls too, between like Ghost Rider or Red Skull or like Skeletor. You don't want them to all look exactly the same. But The basics.
Jonathan says Gene LaBelle was the stuntman from that story.
Yes, LaBelle. I couldn't remember his first name, but it was definitely LaBelle. That was him.
I miss the days where Gene was a strong name. Like Gene Hackman. Like, you don't see anybody naming their kids Gene these days.
Actually, I miss Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you watched Bob's Burgers ever?
Yeah.
The kid in Bob's Burgers is named Gene.
Well, I think that might be what ruined it.
A lot of people have sworn it off since then.
Donald's out. Thanks so much for tuning in, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
See you later, Donald.
Yeah, if you're going to do that tutorial show, just let me know when, man. I would definitely like to try to be a part of that. That would be fun.
Well, let me know when you come up with something, and we'll figure it out. I just don't know what to do. Like,
okay.
On Sunday, on Sunday, I was like, I'm going to do like a quick little 3 ways to use watercolor thing, and then get on with the commission. Yeah, 4 hours later, because I didn't really have it planned out.
Gotcha.
But
yeah, that is a problem. If you don't plan it out, that can happen.
Yeah. That works.
And I know, Gordon, you and I talked about doing the cheap art supply challenge.
Yeah. Go to
I'd
Five
love that.
Below. That would be fun.
I would love to do that. That's something I'm really, really up for. I do. When I started like doing commissions an awful lot, I could not afford the top of the line stuff, and got really creative with the stuff in the back to school aisle.
But like, Gordon, you know this. I don't know, Jay, if you know. I'm using, like, for this Venom, I've used, was a black, red, white, yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to figure out what I'm using here. $6 worth of material.
Beautiful.
That, I mean, one of these paint jars gonna last me like a year or two, right? So there's maybe like 47 cents Canadian worth of product in this.
Which is like what, 2.5 cents American?
Yeah, it's like the price of an old comic book.
Oh yeah.
Actually, not lately. Your dollar's been messing with
say
me.
It. Go ahead, say it.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens when you leave the printer on for a little while. You know.
Yeah, when you give the interns the key to the building.
Yeah, the U.S. dollar hasn't been good. Like, I price everything I do in U.S., right? Because most of the commissions I get are U.S.
Yeah.
And I do it figuring out, okay, with the exchange rate, whatever, you'll cover shipping and whatnot. And now it's like, this isn't really,
yeah,
it really isn't working. Well, it's still working.
Gotta raise your prices, or just start accepting Bitcoin.
Well, I've been talking about this thing for how long now? That was 50 cents, man. And
right,
I'm still using this damn thing.
It's great.
It works fantastic.
My watercolor kit I bought in 1997 in Germany.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, it was this year. This year I bought my very first Copic set. I've never owned a Copic set until now.
So did you buy a full set?
Yeah, I did actually. Not the giant set. Just it was a couple of kind of like starter sets is what it was. Just basic primary, secondary colors and some skin tones and some scales. That's really all it was. Just something you can get started on.
I'm so tempted to take the dive and buy, like, not a full set of like 3,600 colors, but like, I don't know.
I think you're going. I think you're doing great the way you are, man. It's like you're making the most of what you got, and it's the creativity does kind of spill over in the subject.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying paint. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not looking. This is why I'm kind of struggling. Like, do I really want to go to markers? Um,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
my
try.
ongoing challenge is getting that first wash, the flat wash, right? And I've tried using, like, I bought the no-name markers and they work. The
Right.
problem is that the colors are inconsistent and the flow of them is inconsistent. So I have a couple of gray Copics that are dried out and there's better results out of them, right? Just because it's
Now,
better
I,
quality
I
product.
I gotta suggest then try doing both. I was playing with a couple of things before I got a hold of Bianca, before I was talking to Bianca, and a lot of that Retro Babe set was a combination of marker and watercolor.
That's cool.
And it really sped up the process, but it came out as a real interesting result. You got sort of a wash effect, but I was doing some weird stuff where I would I kind of like would go in and block color, like the heavy stuff with the Copics, do washes over top of it to sort of break it up and keep it organic and smooth. And then once that dried, I went in with I had these like Faber-Castell, if I'm pronouncing it right, the little brush markers that were like different grayscale.
Yeah.
And I had one that was like a 10% and a 20% gray. And I would go over and clean up the shadow lines with those all on top of the watercolor.
Wow.
And it would mute out certain areas, it would push up certain areas, and you got these nice clean lines, and then you had this organic kind of blasting out from the wash. You could go in and touch up like dark areas with the black markers. I mean, they really worked well. They played well together, as you said. And it was a lot of it because the Copics are alcohol based, and once they dry, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And you can paint over top of them, and it don't matter. So I don't know. I'd suggest that's where I started really having fun.
I've done it. I've mixed it, and like I said, just the colors that because I bought a cheap kit. It's inconsistent flow. So, and I think it's just because they're 72 markers for $48.
Gotcha.
That's again, I don't need the full set, but like a base skin tone, a base blue, two blues, the full gamut of grays, and use that to do the under. Like, especially like a lot of times I'll do the grisaille underpainting in black ink or black acrylic. And it's like I could probably do this in half the time with Copics. Because I paint over most of it anyways, right? It's just to get the values in. I don't care about the smooth edges and whatnot. So
yeah, I mean, if you're, the areas where you're going to need crisp line and like heavy undertone, that would make perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, I work on acrylic; it covers everything. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, right? That's true. That's true.
So I thought I was going to get this guy done.
Yeah. But we got. I know you got to go. As I said, with this conversation, that could really go on. We kind of really stepped into this one.
Yeah, for sure.
But hell yeah. That is a hell of a topic right there.
All right. Yeah, I got to pack it up because I really got to go pick up a cage.
All right,
guys. Thanks so much for tuning in or joining in on this.
Thank you for having us.
Glorious chat. Yeah, but the Queen's looking good.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's see if we get a better look at her here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
About that cage, huh?
Yeah, about that cage.
Okay, so Gordon, you got your Rogue done, your Polaris done, and
I'm working on Electra.
I really like the Rogue because I'm a Rogue fan, but damn, that Electra is that's smoking. That's pretty freaking cool.
Thank you.
Do you guys want to pimp out your channels? Where can people find you for commissions or to just talk about stuff?
Go ahead, Gordon.
The DMs are open. You can find me at Art of Gordon Wills on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever other. I don't know. Whatever you can.
Where other fine comic book babes are sold.
Well, apparently not Patreon as of October. You heard about this, right?
No.
You mean
cutting
OnlyFans?
out all the nude? No, OnlyFans. Sorry, OnlyFans. Yeah. As of October, OnlyFans is no more nudity.
Unpopular opinion here, but I think that bodes well for us artists because people will have more money to spend now. And
I
don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Jay's going to have to shut down his OnlyFans now, but
Yeah, there I go. There I go. My videos now have to clean themselves up. I hate that. You know,
Yeah.
I had this great thing planned with a plastic tarp down in the studio tonight, and I gotta scrap that.
Hey, you still have a whole month.
That's true. Good point.
okay, and
But,
Jay, where can people find you?
J.E. Fife Illustration on Facebook and Instagram. And that's kind of it right now. But we are going to be doing a live stream sale Sunday night with a local dealer called Locked and Loaded Comics. I'll be doing some sketching, and we'll be doing some orders for sketch covers and taking some more, having some fun with that.
Awesome.
So that's the exciting news right now.
Yeah, flip me the link. I'll make sure to share it.
Cool. I
think
will.
seen that come
Thanks.
through, but-
Yeah, thanks. I will.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys. Everyone in the comments, thank you so much. I'll probably be on Sunday morning doing my usual, I don't know, whatever the hell I'm doing Sunday mornings on live. If anyone's around, hop in the chat. If you want to join the stream, drop me a DM. And that's it.
Thank you.
That's it for now. Thanks so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm
Thank
going to go buy a cage.
Thank you.
See you, Dre. See you, Gordon.
See y'all later.
All right, bye.